Hi there, Lijianan. Nice to see that you've written more essays. Let's take a look and see what you did here. Okay. The first one is about schools and should they be more entertaining or merely educate. Let's see what you said. There is a debate about whether it should be more interesting in schools or just offer educational classes. I believe that entertainment on campus is good for the development of students. This essay will discuss both sides using examples to demonstrate points and support arguments. Okay. A couple things in this introduction that I really want to correct. Let's start it again, shall we? There is a debate about whether it should be more interesting in schools. I understand what you mean. It's just probably not the best way to express this, okay? So instead you could have said whether lessons should be more interesting in schools or if they should just offer educational classes, okay? I believe that entertainment on campus is good for the development of students. I wanted a little bit better link here. It's like you have three very disjointed sentences, and so I wanted some sort of a link between some of these ideas, whether it's with a cohesive device, whether it's with combining two of these sentences together. They just felt very separate from each other, okay? All right, let's move on. Firstly, being with a lowercase b. Firstly, being entertained in class helps students absorb knowledge efficiently. This is because it could make students focus on the class easily instead of the unattractive and monotonous class. Okay, there is something wrong with the grammar here, right? We'll look at it in a minute. For example, if students in their history classes watch appealing documentaries rather than just listening to the educational lesson, they would be attracted by the vivid historical events so that they would have a better understanding of the real history. Therefore, it is effective for students to acquire and understand knowledge by using more interesting educational methods. Okay, well, as far as the template is concerned, you did well, but there was that one sentence that I wanted to fix, okay? There's a problem in the way you made this comparison here. You're trying to say that the entertainment in class allows students to focus more than they would in an unattractive and monotonous class. This is the message you're trying to get across. Unfortunately, the way you have structured your sentence, it doesn't come across. So you could somehow either write what I just said or change that around to convey what it is that I just said, okay? Let's take a look at the second body paragraph. Secondly, role play by absorbing activities in campuses benefits students' high efficiency. Okay, there's a lot of confusion in this sentence. I don't know what you mean by role play. I don't know what you mean by absorbing activities, and I don't know what you mean by it benefits students' high efficiency. Are you trying to say that it allows students to be highly efficient? So there's a lot of confusion here, and it's creating a lack of coherence. All right, let's move on. The reason for this is that they could relax and reduce their study stress by these activities, whereas being educated all the time would make them exhausted and not low efficient and inefficient. For instance, there is a study that those students who do some leisure activities every 45 minutes in school, not the school, would be more productive, are more productive than those who learn lessons all day. Hence, entertaining activity is necessary for students' learning efficiency. Okay, great. So now, this really made no sense here. I don't know what you meant by role play, and I don't know what you meant by absorbing activities. And you didn't definitely mean this. Can allow students to become more efficient is what you want to say here. All right, let's move on. To conclude from the examples and arguments given, I firmly agree that school should provide students with more entertainment. In the future, educational ways will provide more diversification and use more scientific timetables to educate students. All right, how does this fit into anything? This is the first time you've mentioned anything about scientific timetables. I don't understand how this fits into the idea of entertainment. So I'm a little confused. And also, we don't mention something new in our conclusion. We don't offer any new evidence. We don't bring in any new ideas. The only place where you should add any new ideas, new arguments, is in your body, but certainly never in your conclusion. Okay? So basically, there are a number of errors with this essay. A lot of them have to do with grammar. And then some of them have to do with just all these grammatical problems creating a lack of coherence. There are areas of the essay that I just didn't understand. So it's one of those places where the grammar affects other areas of the criteria as well. So I want you to be a little careful with that. Be careful with some of your sentences, okay? Let's look at your second essay. Okay, now let's look at the second essay, enjoyable activity, skills, and creativity. Let's see what you said. There is a problem. What is the better way to develop children? By doing entertaining activities or reading? I totally agree the former, since this way could help children develop a more all-rounded abilities and skills. This essay will analyze both issues and use examples from online games and children's research to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay, so grammar is really our biggest issue here. Let's take a look at what made things unclear. Okay, so there is an issue as to what the better... Let me try that again. There is an issue regarding what the better way to help children develop is, by doing entertaining activities or reading. I totally agree with the former, since this way could help children develop, no A, more all-rounded abilities and skills. This essay will analyze both issues and use examples from online games and children's research to demonstrate points and prove arguments. Okay? Then it's okay. Firstly, playing on computer games with children can develop skills that would be impossible to be acquired just by reading alone. This is because when children play these games, they could develop active skills and spatial awareness that they cannot gain in books. For example, most electronic games, such as PlayStation, create a visual space and a tense battle environment, which would stimulate children to react fast and adapt to the changing space. Hence, it is a better way for children's growth to play online games compared to reading ing. Okay, let's see. Make sure you leave a space between your full stops. Look, here you left a good space, but here there was none, and here there was none, so be careful. All right, moving on. Secondly, it is unlikely that children develop their abilities faster just only by reading without physical activities. This is because physical activities, especially sports, could induce more thorough abilities. That doesn't make sense. They induce more thorough abilities. So the phrasing is wrong, and it makes you lose the meaning here. Such as cognitive abilities, which would benefit children's development in the future. Careful, no E here. For example, again, leave a space. There is research from Harvard which states that those students doing sports regularly, such as jogging, have better performance in the school than those who just read books at home. Okay? Therefore, it is obvious that sports activities make children think and acquire knowledge more efficiently than reading. Okay, fine. To conclude from the examples and arguments given, I firmly agree that doing interesting activities has greater advantages than reading. In the future, all-rounded abilities from these activities will benefit children's careers. Note 2. All right, so again, it's a problem with the grammar. A little less in this essay than in the previous one. I felt a little better about this essay. But still, there were some areas that, of course, you have to correct. So let's talk about what the next step is. The next step is to correct these essays based on the corrections in this video correction. Okay, and then send back the corrected essays to us. Also, you're going to create an error correction list where you write down the errors that were pointed out to you, and then next to each error, write out what the corrected suggestion is. You're going to add to this list with each video correction you receive back. After that, you also need to write your new essays, taking into account everything that you learned from this video correction. So go ahead and get started on that. Try to do all of this within the next day or so you can really apply everything you've been learning. Okay, so I'll let you get to that. Go ahead, good luck, and I'll be here waiting to see your next set of essays.